my share is, by and large, I think parents, whichever religion or whichever community they are, they should bring up their children, whether it a boy and the girl, equally. And they should teach the boys to respect the girls. So this is very important, and it needs to be followed by all the parents, which itself will protect the fear of the girls, because they'll think, oh, my brother will save me, or there's somebody to help me, that sort of a thing. And at the same time, when there is a uniformity of every boy being told that the number of crimes, the number of abuse, everything will also decrease. So this needs to be, irrespective of who you are, this needs to be followed up. This is what I think. That is what, I mean, I can give one example. In my family, my mother was the only daughter. She had 6 brothers. So my mother was the only brought up, and the way she was brought up like a queen, you know, and that's how we've been also brought up in the same way, my brother or everybody, and that makes a difference. So every family follows this sort of attitude. I think definitely it will bring down the abuses, etc. Thank you.
Did any of you want to respond to?
Just one very quick response. I completely agree. I was with a group in Lebanon who are doing a lot of work on empowering women as girls as to how they can grow up and be empowered. But the point was made that unless you're teaching the men to allow these women to get jobs, to be empowered, they're just going to find out that actually all these aspirations they've been given will come to nothing. So actually what you've got to do is you've got to empower the women, but you've got to empower the men to have the confidence to say, my wife, my sister, whatever, is going to get a job and earn more than me. And that's okay. Both have got to happen. You're quite right.
Thank you. Matt, I can see you've got your hand up. Is there a question online?
Yeah, it's not necessarily a question, but more comment, if that's okay. And just from my experience of standing up and trying to work in the Church of Scotland, the Church of Scotland's got some real issues, I feel, on its recruitment and the way women are represented, even though we have a female moderator this year. But I think at the base level, for me, it's how we talk about God. You know, we use very masculine ways of describing God, and yet the Bible, in our tradition, has a plethora of languages, and so, you know, even the way we, on a base level, just speak about God, I think, is masculine. So we have to change even just our language before we even start changing structures. Just a simple thing of language, and that's hard. What I've also discovered is, as an ally, I also need to let go of my ego and be able to be called out more. And if I'm able to be vulnerable, I find other people or other men are more likely to be open to it. The other thing is that there's always a danger in this work of tokenism. And what I mean by that is, we have a woman on the panel, and so now we can speak, you know, we are equals, and yet the whole system underneath is corrupt. And so there's always a danger when we put women into, or when women are in positions of power, that it becomes tokenistic, and it allows for the undercurrents to remain sexist and misogynistic underneath it. And so that's the danger. And on a personal note, I find that often when I stand up, and I have spoken out, I don't know if women are socially conditioned when they hear someone speak out and say there's an issue or not, but there's often a lot of self-sabotage that happens, that I found. And so it's for me as someone who's speaking out, to learn how to change the narrative in myself so that that doesn't come to the fore. So those are some of the kind of things I struggle with, and as part of the working out of in the Church of Scotland, how we're trying to do or at least I'm trying to navigate 400 plus years of it being a boys only club.
Thank you very much for sharing that.